Hello, West Ham Network. It's Holly, and I'm here with your Hammers headlines for today, Wednesday, the 5th of June. Can you believe it's June already? I cannot. But with 9 days until the transfer window opens, there is a lot to discuss in the headlines today. So without further ado, let's get started. Hello, West Ham Network. I hope you're having a brilliant day. So we've already done a live this afternoon where I joined Russ and Anton, and we discussed our retained list, including Cresswell's extension, of Bonner leaving, and the list of other players departing, as well as the two that we are continuing discussions with, which is quite interesting. If you haven't already, though, go and give that a watch because it was a great discussion with those watching. But now we want fresh stories for you. We can't be doubling up with what we're telling you. So I'm going to be looking at 3 different transfer updates that we've been keeping a very close eye on, some of which I'm sure you've been reading up a lot about. But as always, give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy it, and please remember to give us a comment with your thoughts. Let's get straight into them. So up first, we had an eventful day of news about Samu Omorodion, with it being reported by El Desmarque yesterday that West Ham had closed an agreement to bring in the 20-year-old, bring him over to East London for 25.5 million. It all began with Antonio Ruiz announcing that a Premier League club had reached an agreement with Atletico without specifying which Premier League club it was, but El Desmarque named West Ham, and it all snowballed from there. But just hours later, it was reported by Knees Up Mother Brown that West Ham had their summer transfer offer rejected by Atletico Madrid. The deal was very far from being done, and it was being said that we needed to offer more to secure the striker's signature, with Atletico still open to offers. So it was indeed a massive false alarm. As a reminder, he is yet to play in a game for Atletico, but he enjoyed a decent loan spell at Alaves last season, scoring 9 times, as well as getting a debut for Spain's under-21s, scoring twice in 7 caps for his country, so not too bad. But would you like to see him sign, or do you think the price tag of offers in the region of 25.5 million is that bit too high for somebody that isn't necessarily proven at the top flight quite yet? Let us know down below in that comment section. Now, for your second story, French news has said that West Ham are positioning ourselves for a second attempt at signing Elye Wahi. So interestingly, this follows Andy Brassel saying that West Ham had a deal in place to sign Wahi if Paqueta made the move to Man City back in September. But when this collapsed, the deal with him also did exactly the same. And at the time, he was at Montpellier, and he was keen to join West Ham by the sounds of things. But when Paqueta stayed, Wahi went to Lens in a £30 million deal, meaning it was all over. But now Paqueta's future looks a little less certain. It looks as though Wahi is a player that we are still keen to pursue, and it looks as though we're going to be doing this once more, despite some of the controversies that do surround his past. In 28 League appearances last season, he scored 9 goals and got 3 assists, and taking his Champions League and Europa League performances into account, he scored 12 and got 4 assists in 37 games. So not terrible, not life-changing, but you would take it sometimes. Would you like to see West Ham go after Elye Wahi is the question that I have. Or do you think we should be looking elsewhere? And if so, drop us a comment and let us know your reasoning behind it down in those comment sections. And for your third story, we're putting it third because there's so much talk about this guy going on at the moment. But West Ham talks with Luis Guilherme are progressing, with Fabrizio Romano saying that West Ham are in what he has called very advanced talks to sign the Palmeiras forward. And Goal Brazil saying that the next step will basically be a medical. So there have been reports that Saudi clubs are also after his signature, giving us fierce competition when it comes to wages and the price that they could pay. But we all know that the Premier League can kickstart a great future when it comes to giving someone a long-lasting career in football and the opportunities that can open themselves up to especially young players like him as a result of playing in our league. So there are definitely a lot of appeals. I know there's a lot of criticism when people were saying like, what kind of 18-year-old wants to go to the Saudi League, because essentially it's like the end of a career currently, how we see it. But it looks as though that is not done and dusted, and there are still opportunities for us to get him, and things are progressing. So very exciting. Stay tuned. But yesterday, Fabrizio said that West Ham and Palmeiras are checking all contracts and documents, as well as discussing what the structure of the deal would be and how to activate add-ons. So there's a 20% sell-on clause, which means that the structure of the deal gets a little bit more complicated, a little bit less straightforward, but it's all sounding pretty positive that we're looking at the more intricate details of how this deal would be structured now. But as we know from when Bruno's deal broke down, after Fabrizio actually gave it the here we go, I'm sure that I'm not alone in wanting to see him in the West Ham shirt before I get too excited, or seeing him on the roof of the London Stadium like we did with Paqueta. That still makes me laugh at how random that was that we just popped him. It's not like we have a skywalk on the stadium. We just went, stick him on the roof. This will be a good video. View of East London. I love it. But Stike will be keen to not leave Brazil empty-handed. So we wait patiently, don't we, for further updates on Luis Guilherme to see if he could become a Hammer this summer, and I hope he will. So those have been your Hammers headlines for today. But join us tomorrow lunchtime, where we will be joined by BBC's South American football correspondent Tim Vickery, and getting his brilliant insights into all things South American football, including the names that we've been linked with this window, the latest updates, what they could bring to West Ham, and much, much more, as well as a little bit of chat about Paqueta. You won't want to miss it, so make sure you hit subscribe if you're new around here. Turn on those notifications, drop us a comment to get involved in the conversation, and as always, give us a thumbs up if you've enjoyed this video. That is all from me for now. I hope you've enjoyed your Hammers headlines. Have a great day, and until next time, come on you Irons.